Please don't leave me here. I was wrong. Help me, please. Kevin shook his head in disbelief. He reached down and grabbed the shackle. With a powerful twist, he broke the lock. Then the three of them left the room. When Kevin returned to his penthouse at Corwin Tower, Kevin went into the study and opened the book he'd taken from the marshal's office, Alliance Advanced Herbal Manufacturing. Then Kevin's eyes were drawn to a sentence that was printed boldly in red. These are the ultimate herbal manufacturing techniques of the Alliance. Anyone other than the Alliance's supreme leader who uses these methods without permission will be punished severely. Finally, when he heard Lily getting up in the other room, he put the book away and went out into the hall. Hey, Grandma just had someone give me a call. Everybody in the family has to drop what they're doing and get to the mansion by 10:30. Didn't we just hold a family meeting yesterday? After you left with Officer Emmet yesterday, we were told that Meriwether would be held for arraignment. So his deal with the family ended up falling through. Kevin was sure that nothing good would come of this meeting, so he sent a quick message to Tyler while he was waiting at a red light. When they reached the mansion, Kevin walked with Lily up to the front door. As Kevin and Lily entered the hall, Jason jumped up and shouted, "Kevin, if it wasn't for you, we'd have been able to sell our shares." The rest of the family started insulting him, saying that Lily would be better off with Meriwether than with Kevin. Then they defended Meriwether, saying it was just his nature to be aggressive. Grandma Jones slammed her fist on the table. "I thought about it all night and I've come to a decision. After Mr. Meriwether is released from jail, you will divorce Kevin. Then I'll make arrangements for you to marry our new business partner." "I'll never divorce Kevin." "Whether you agree or not isn't up to you. The two of you will divorce today. This is for the future of the Jones family. It's not negotiable." "You're willing to sell one of your own just for money. You don't know anything about familial love." "Who are you to criticize us?" "You've lost control of your business, and now you're trying to give my wife to Meriwether in exchange for money to fund your next disaster. You're quite the leader." "Get out of here!" Before she could say anything, though, the family butler called from the foyer. "Mrs. Jones, the CEO of KWTD Corporation, Mr. Tyler Dawn, is here to see you." "I'm sorry to disturb you again. May I ask if Lily is here today? I'm actually here to speak with her." Before Grandma Jones could answer, Tyler had already found Lily in the crowd. He walked up to her quickly. "I'm Tyler Dawn. Very pleased to finally meet you, my friend. I have to leave town for some urgent business, so I've decided to transfer my shares in the Jones Family Company to you, along with the earnings from the Import-Export Company. It will all be placed in your name and your name only." Then Tyler gestured for one of his assistants to hand a document to Lily for her to sign. Grandma and the rest of the family were stunned for a moment. "These shares are worth $300 million. I only transfer them to you because I trust you. That's the only reason I did this." "Don't worry, I won't let you down. But, Mr. Dawn, there's one thing I don't understand. Why do you keep calling me friend? This is the first time we've met." While everyone watched in amazement, Tyler put his hand on Kevin's shoulder. "Of course it's because you're Mr. Williams' wife." Just then, one of Tyler's assistants walked over and whispered something in his ear. "Kevin, I was hoping to have dinner with you, but I need to deal with an urgent matter in New York. Unfortunately, I have to run." "Okay. Have a safe trip." Then Tyler headed out the door. "You know Tyler Dawn?" "Yes. We're pretty good friends." "Lily, now that this issue with the shares has been taken care of, I have to go and run some errands that my boss gave me." Kevin turned around and quickly left the mansion. This controlling share in the company actually made her more important than Grandma Jones. Just then, Lily's phone vibrated. It was a text from Kevin with a simple message. He told her to hang on tight to the shares and not transfer them to anyone, no matter what. Kevin had just returned to his office at Williams Media when he got a phone call. "May I ask who this is?" "Hello, Mr. Williams. My name is Philip Quinn. Dominic Archer gave me your number." Would you like to purchase one of my herbal pills? So go ahead and name your price. I promise not to bargain with you. The price will be the same as I said for Dominic Archer, $500,000. No problem. Then it's a deal. After hanging up the phone, when the middle-aged couple entered the office, Kevin immediately jumped up from his chair and ran over to them. Mom, Dad, when did you get to Chicago? Kevin was so excited. He gave them a hug and said, Kevin, I heard from your uncle that he put Williams Media under your name. I came to see for myself. Kevin, are you really the CEO of Williams Media now? Yes, Mom and Dad. After Kevin was pushed out by the family, Alan and Sue went back to their old house in the country. Kevin hadn't seen them in almost a year. But actually, we came to tell you some good news. Your cousin Monty Aspinwall is getting married in New York tomorrow. Before Sue could finish, Kevin's phone rang. It was his Uncle Thomas.
Hi, Kevin. Are you free tomorrow?
Sure, Uncle Thomas. What's going on? Kevin asked curiously.
It's like this. Your cousin is getting married tomorrow, so I'd like to invite you back into the family as a guest.
Of course. I'll definitely come. Then they discussed the details for a minute before saying goodbye. Did your uncle just invite you to attend Monty's wedding? Yes, he did. Let's all go there together. In the entire family, except for his parents, Monty was the one who had the best relationship with Kevin. In fact, when Kevin was pushed out of the family, Monty was the first one to speak up in his defense. Then Alan and Susan headed out to spend the day walking around downtown Chicago. The next morning, Kevin and his parents headed to Midway Airport to take the company jet to New York. Monty, who had been standing at the entrance welcoming the guests, brightened up immediately when he saw Kevin.
Kevin, you're finally here. I've been waiting for you.
Monty grinned as he gave Kevin a big hug. I missed you too. Then he turned to his fiancée and took her by the hand.
Hannah, this is Cousin Kevin, Uncle Alan, and Aunt Susan.
Kevin nodded politely and smiled as he called her Cousin Hannah.
Kevin, my dad and the rest of the family are waiting in the main hall.
Oh, of course. We'll head in and take a seat. When Kevin and his family walked into the reception hall, Uncle Thomas was greeting the guests warmly.
Kevin, I'm so glad you could make it.
Then Thomas looked at Alan and Susan.
It's good to see you finally made it back.
I see the three of you made it to Monty's wedding. When are you leaving? Laura Williams said coldly.
Laura, I called Alan and his family to personally invite them back.
Laura didn't understand what had happened with Kevin as well as her husband Thomas did. When the Williams family was facing a financial crisis, Grandpa Williams had personally sent his son Thomas a message. He was to make a special trip to Chicago to find Kevin and ask for forgiveness. That's when Kevin agreed to invest his fortune in the Williams family business. Even the Williams mansion belonged to Kevin now. You're an embarrassment to the entire family. Why don't you just go back to Chicago? Alan was so angry that his chest was heaving up and down, and Susan was so repulsed that she was starting to look pale. His parents arrived at Monty's wedding in New York, and Laura and his cousin Ethan started to insult them.
Uncle Alan and Susan, what possessed you to come here?
Ethan had never liked Kevin all that much. Later on, Uncle Thomas went and tracked him down to ask him to take over as CEO of Williams Media. Ethan was jealous because he'd been running the company up until they needed the bailout from Kevin. Alan's face suddenly turned pale. He moaned and collapsed on the floor. Dad, what's wrong? Kevin immediately took out his phone and dialed 911. Ethan, if something happens to my father, I'll hold you personally responsible. Then Kevin suddenly looked at his Uncle Thomas and said, It seems I made a bad choice lending money to the Williams family. I think I may just pull out my $8 billion and head back to Chicago. Everyone who heard this was stunned. Why do you think we'd lend you any money? I lent $8 billion to the family to bail them out of the mess they'd gotten into. Just ask Uncle Thomas. Monty heard all the noise and rushed over with Hannah. Then he picked up his father from the floor and walked carefully towards the door. An ambulance soon arrived at the mansion's entrance. Kevin helped them load his father in the van, and his mother rode along with them. Kevin turned around and went back inside.
You're no longer a member of this family. Get the hell out right now. Shut up.
Then Thomas turned around and looked at Kevin.
Kevin, we're all family here.
No. Ethan just said that I'm no longer a member of this family.
But Kevin, How can you talk to Uncle Thomas like this?
Monty Aspinwall. And Kevin emphasized that his cousin had a different last name. Tomorrow you can come over to Williams Media for a job. I'm so sorry I messed up your wedding, Monty. He took a beautifully decorated gift envelope out of his pocket and handed it to his cousin. Without giving Monty any time to react, Kevin left the mansion. Kevin got to the hospital within 20 minutes and saw that his father wasn't being treated yet. His mother was pleading with the nurse, tears streaming down her cheeks. I'm sorry, but the administrator already told you. This is a private hospital and you have no insurance coverage. We can keep him stable, but there's nothing else we can do. After Alan and Susan left Chicago, they'd managed to save a little money, but certainly not enough to pay for an operation. When Susan saw her son walk in, she immediately calmed down. Mom, what's going on? They said that if we can't afford the surgery, all they can do is stabilize him. A human life is at stake, and you want to get paid first? I'll cover everything. Now send him to surgery immediately. The bill for this kind of surgery is $120,000. I said I'll pay you. Just then, the hospital director arrived with a few security guards. At the same moment, Kevin's phone rang. When he saw that it was Quinn calling, Kevin answered. Mr. Williams, I know you're in my hospital right now. Wait for me right there. I'll be down there as soon as I can. Then he hung up.
Young man, if you continue to cause trouble, I'll ask security to have you removed from the property.
All this for just $120,000? I'll give it to you now, Kevin grumbled as he slapped his bank card on the counter. Moments later, the assistant came back with the bank card. Sir, here is your card as well as the hospital's invoice. Now can you please arrange for my father's surgery?
Yes, sir.
The whole staff was in shock. As they were wheeling Alan to pre-op, the surgeon stopped right in front of Kevin and spoke to him. Kevin, what are you doing here? Is the patient your father? I'm Dr. Willow. We met at President Wright's birthday party. Dr. Willow? Don't you work in Chicago? The hospital arranged for me to come here for an exchange program. What happened to your father? It looks like he had an acute myocardial infarction, a heart attack. Don't worry, I'll do my best. After saying that, Dr. Willow put her mask back on and headed toward the operating room. Kevin, where did you ever get so much money from? I hope you're not involved in something illegal. Don't worry, Mom. I earned it myself. Mom, I'll go to Uncle Thomas tomorrow to get back the money I lent the family. While I'm there, I'll completely cut my ties with them. Susan fell asleep on the sofa, probably from exhaustion after the scene at Monty's wedding. 3 hours had gone by and the director was walking into the office with Dr. Willow. Dr. Willow, how is my father? The surgery was successful and your father is out of danger. Just then, they all heard footsteps hurrying down the hall. While Dr. Willow and the hospital director stared in amazement, Quinn walked over to Kevin and warmly shook his hand. Mr. Williams, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. No problem at all. I still have the item you requested. Besides, I have some details to work out with the director. Ernie Richter, have you been neglecting your duties? President Quinn, I don't know how often you're able to visit this hospital. These administrators have no conscience. They park dying patients in the corridor while they shake down their families for money. Ernie Richter, I've told you over and over to make sure that any patients who are in serious condition need to be treated. Pack up your things and get out of here. He grabbed the director's name tag off his desk and threw it out into the hallway. President Quinn, but it was Dr. Willow who saved my father. You did well, Doctor. As of right now, you're the new director of this hospital. President Quinn, thank you for your kind offer, but I came to this hospital as part of a research exchange program. I'm officially on the payroll of Downtown General in Chicago. You don't need to go back there. Human Resources will help you complete all the paperwork today. At that moment, Susan woke up. Kevin, is your father out of surgery yet? Yes, Mom. It's over. Dad has been sent to recovery and then he'll have a private room. Mr. Williams, we still have some unfinished business. How about letting my staff take your mother up to recovery? They should be able to let her speak with him for a few minutes once the anesthesia is worn off. Kevin, if you have something to do, go ahead. I'll be upstairs with your father. Susan started to walk out of the office. 2 of his associates cheerfully headed out and invited Kevin's mother to follow them. President Quinn, I'll be on my way. Mr. Williams, this isn't a good place to talk. Please come with me to my home. Your father will be in good hands while we're gone." They left the hospital together, and Quinn personally drove Kevin to the most luxurious mansion in the whole metropolitan area. Kevin smiled and took a small white vial from his pocket. It contained the 6 herbal pills that he'd prepared the previous night. "Mr. Quinn, this should be just what you're looking for." Kevin poured out a red pill and placed it on the table. "I guess there's only one thing left to do," Quinn said with a laugh. Then he stopped delaying and took the pill. While he was waiting for it to take effect, he ordered his assistant to transfer the $500,000 to Kevin's account. Kevin took a walk around the room. Then Kevin walked to the foyer to appreciate the ornate front door and the enormous sliding doors leading to the back patio. He frowned slightly. Something didn't look right to him. "Mr. Williams, I can already tell that your pill is working. I haven't felt this vibrant in years. How have things been going for you since you moved here? Now that you mention it, my business was doing great when I built this place, but lately it's slowed down a little. Why do you ask? A friend of mine gave me a book on feng shui. I know a thing or two, but not a lot," Kevin went on. "This is a beautiful mansion, but something's not quite right. It looks to me like any positive energy comes in the front door and goes straight out the back of the house. Mr. Quinn, you may want to consider getting someone in here to advise you. As long as I'm working on improving my body, why not do the same for my home? You've been very helpful, my friend." "It's my pleasure. But now I need to head back to the hospital and visit with my father." When Kevin got back to the hospital, his father had already woken up and was feeling better. "Kevin, I have something to ask you." "Dad, no matter what it is, I'm sure it can wait until you've recovered." But he didn't want to discuss the fight at the Williams family mansion. What Kevin wanted right now was to teach them a lesson. When Kevin got to the Williams mansion, his Uncle Thomas was sitting in the head chair. The other family members who had shown up were sitting quietly with solemn expressions on their faces.
"Kevin, do you really want to see the entire family go bankrupt? Aren't you a member of this family?"
"Am I a member of the Williams family? You all drove me out of the family 3 years ago. When my father collapsed and was taken to the hospital, which of you went to visit him? If that's how you treat family, then I'd like my $8 billion back."
"Kevin, this concerns the future of our family. Whether we sell our shares or let the family go bankrupt, I'll leave it up to you."
The message was clear. He and his parents were out of the family. Of course, Kevin didn't really want the Williams family to go bankrupt. All he wanted was for them to apologize to him and his parents for their behavior. When Kevin got back to his apartment at Corwin Tower, Lily and Rachel were waiting for him by the elevator. "Let's go out for a walk. You can carry my shopping bags today." Kevin and Lily walked into a chic jewelry store, and Lily's eyes lit up when she saw a beautiful necklace in the display case. "Do you think you might want to buy it for me? The price tag says it costs $20,000. "Hi, could you please take this necklace out so my wife could try it on?" "I'm sorry, but that's not permitted. All jewelry must be purchased before it can be removed from the case." Just then, everyone heard a shrill voice order the associate, "Take this necklace out so I can try it on." They looked over and saw an elegantly dressed woman holding an older man's arm as she walked over to the display case. She was pointing at the necklace Lily wanted. "Okay, just a moment, ma'am," the associate said as she unlocked the case to remove the necklace for the woman. "Didn't you just say that you don't allow anyone to try anything on if they haven't already paid for it?" "But can you afford it? If you really can afford it, why don't you just buy it?" He patted her on the hand and smiled. Then he took out his black card and tossed it on the counter. "Wrap up every piece of jewelry in the store. I'm buying it all for my wife." "Yeah, right. We checked our inventory just an hour ago, and the current stock in the display cases is valued at over $1.4 million. If your card is rejected, I'm calling the police." Some numbers on the computer and swiped the card. And the sale went through. She looked at Kevin, then at his card, and then back at the screen. Her legs started to feel weak, and she sat down on her stool. When he looked at the screen and saw the numbers, he almost lost his balance and had to sit down too.
"Sir, is this your card?"
"Yes."
Wrap everything up and send it to the penthouse at Corwin Tower. Come on, honey, let's go, Kevin said affectionately to Lily. Lily was very confused and asked him, "Where did you get so much money from?" "Well, as you know, I've been helping my boss for the past couple of weeks. My latest project just earned him about $140 million, so he gave me a bonus of 1% of the sale." Lily was even more confused now. How could Kevin's boss be so generous? Just then, Kevin's phone rang. "Hello, Kevin. Please come to the store. There's something I need you to settle right away." As soon as he entered the store, he saw a large group of people standing around a table and whispering to each other. Phoebe was staring at an antique marble bust and frowning as she tried to make a decision. She was deep in thought. "How much do you plan to sell this for?"
"Ma'am, this bust has been in my family for generations. It should be worth about $60,000, don't you agree?"
The antique shop owners in the crowd started whispering to each other. Some thought it might be worth it. Others wouldn't give him $50 for it. Kevin squinted and took a close look at the marble bust. It looked like an authentic Roman bust, probably from the 2nd century. As he walked around it, he could see that someone had tried to repair it, probably in the 1600s. "All right, I'll take it," Kevin said directly. As soon as he said this, the onlookers immediately started to quiet down, but Phoebe was still staring at the bust with a thoughtful frown on her face. "Do you know anything about antiques? Be careful." "Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Please allow me to cover this man's sale." The young man said, "You rock." He gave Kevin a thumbs up, then took a bracelet out of his backpack.
"I found this bracelet by accident. If you're interested in it, I'll sell it to you for $25,000.
Once again, the antique dealers who were watching this spectacle started chattering to each other, but it was in such good condition they didn't believe it was an antique.
"I can't take any less than $25,000.
Kevin picked up the bracelet and looked at it from all angles. Then he raised it over his head and looked at how the stone looked in the light. Then he put it next to his ear and flicked it a few times with his finger. Kevin looked down at the bracelet in his hand and said, "Has everyone here heard of the jewelry that was found in King Tut's tomb? There were many other artifacts found in countless other Egyptian tombs around the same time. I believe that this bracelet was made by a master artisan based on a lost bracelet from one of those excavations. The original bracelet was intended to give the wearer fertility and immortality. Together with the original bracelet, the pair of them would be worth quite a bit more, perhaps as much as $3 million. Okay, transfer $25,000 to this gentleman," Phoebe said excitedly. One of her employees immediately transferred the money to the routing number he'd given them.
"Who said I only want $25,000? I want $1 million for the bracelet. You still owe me $975,000.
"Sir, how can you do this? I've already transferred the money to you and our transaction is complete."
"Didn't you hear what he said? The two bracelets together could be worth at least $3 million. Even though there's only one now, it's got to be worth at least $1 million. If you don't want to pay that, then the deal is off."
"In that case, have our money transferred back to our account and leave our store immediately."
"I have a rule when I'm doing business. Once the money is in my pocket, I never take it out again."
The crowd of antique dealers and other onlookers were exasperated by this man's behavior. How could he refuse to return the money if the sale was off? Shouldn't he be arrested for this? "Security, arrest him!" Kevin walked over to the man and grabbed his shoulder.
"Let me go. Do you know who I am? I'm Reuben Cook. Maybe you've heard of my cousin Drake Cook."
He pushed at Kevin to break free but failed. As he struggled, some fruit fell out of his backpack. He quickly took out his phone.
"Drake, I'm surrounded. Send someone down to Anderson Antiques to save me. I came here to sell 2 antiques, but now everyone has me surrounded and they want me to pay them before they'll let me leave." "I'll be right there. I want to see who has the cojones to try something like this."
Phoebe was so furious that she couldn't speak. Everyone started to encourage her to accept the deal to make Reuben go away. After a few minutes, a couple of black SUVs screeched to a halt in front of the store's entrance. Drake rushed into the room, followed by his bodyguards.
"How could this be?" Drake asked sternly. "Who's in charge here?"
Phoebe's face turned pale. Just as she was about to face Drake, Kevin put his hand on her shoulder and took a step forward. He stared blankly at Kevin, and his expression turned from anger to confusion to fear. "Drake, you got a lot of guts bringing your men in here to cause trouble." Before Reuben could say anything else, Drake gave him a backhand to the face.
"Why did you hit me? I'll deal with you later."
Phoebe bit her lip nervously when she saw Drake walking towards Kevin. However, what happened next shocked everyone in the room.
"I'm sorry, Mr. Williams. I had no idea this would happen. My cousin can get carried away sometimes." "Get over here, you. Hurry up and apologize to Mr. Williams."
I'm sorry, Mr. Williams. I was wrong to do that."
"I'm sorry, ma'am. Is everything settled now, Mr. Williams?"
"We're good. I want you to leave that fruit. Do you have any objections?"
"Of course not."
Reuben placed it on the table in front of Kevin. "How did you get this?" He kept turning the black fruit over and over until he was sure that he wasn't mistaken. According to the book that he'd taken from Marshall's office, this was an incredibly rare fruit. It was an important ingredient for refining numerous herbal medicines that were described in the book.
"I found this at a health food store on Cicero Avenue. It was the only one like this."
"All right, Drake. Take him away." Just then, Phoebe ran out of the store chasing after them. "How about I treat everyone to a meal at my house?" Phoebe gave Kevin the address of her family's estate. It was about an hour and a half from the antique store. They chatted for a while longer, and then Phoebe went into the kitchen to prepare their meal. Rachel and Lily got up and went into the kitchen to help her. Kevin took his glass of iced tea and leaned back on the sofa. He spilled his drink all over his tan pants. He practically ran out of the room. Suddenly, the front door was violently kicked open.
"Tie them up. Kevin, come out now."
Kevin could see Lily and the other two women tied up in chairs by the dining room table, surrounded by Marshall's men. Just as he was about to attack Kevin again, Marshall fell to the ground heavily and broke out in a cold sweat. He felt like there were countless ants biting him from head to toe. Kevin walked over to Marshall and knelt down next to him to observe him for almost a minute. "An herbal did this to you, didn't it?" Kevin knew which herbal pill Marshall had taken. You had to take it every 6 months or you'd have a serious relapse and possibly die. The head of the Alliance did this in order to better control the members. "Marshall, if I can make an herbal pill that will help you, will you let us go?"
"It's a deal.
"I'll be back in a minute." Then he went to his car and got the black fruit. Half an hour later, Kevin had finished refining the pill that would act as an antidote to save Marshall from the effects of the pill that the head of the Alliance had given him. 5 or 6 minutes later, Marshall looked a lot better and slowly got up from the kitchen floor. "You'll be fine in another few minutes. Now, can you let us go?"
"Sir, please save my men. They've been given the same pill. Without the antidote that you just made, they'll all die within 3 days."
"I really can't save them. Unfortunately, to make another batch, I would need more of the black fruit. I used all that I had to make your pill. I just found it by chance today, and I have no idea where to get more on such short notice."
"Mr. Williams, they're really not all that hard to find. I'll send one of my men to get some for you right away."
Marshall was very excited and relieved. Kevin got excited too. If Marshall really had a source for that black fruit he needed to make his pills, it would be a huge help to him. All they had to do now was to wait for his aide to come back with the black fruit.
Hi, Kevin here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Insta Empire now with the link in the description.